For our live stream today. Hello everyone, my name is Carly Kurger and we are absolutely thrilled to have you join us for our live stream today. Whether you're joining from Ithaca or somewhere around the world, we hope to give you a glimpse into what went into the production of Ithaca College's live event production of the 2023 Apple Harvest Festival. We hope to give you an all-access pass to everything going on in the live stream and introduce you to some of the vendors and visitors who make AppleFest a success each year. We will be checking in with field host Lucas Kaufman throughout the broadcast, and he will bring us around and show us all the action of AppleFest. If at any point you want to watch the main live stream, head over to the Park School of Communications YouTube page to catch the content. The Apple Harvest Festival is a long-standing tradition in Ithaca, bringing thousands of visitors to the city each year. This event started as a small harvest festival in 1982 to showcase the area's diverse agricultural products, and now it's grown into a large 3-day festival. Let's break down 10 things you probably didn't know about the Apple Harvest Festival.
The Ithaca Apple Fest is celebrating its 41st year this year. Over the span of 41 years, many vendors, performers, and orchards have been featured. Here are some facts you may not know about the Ithaca Apple Harvest Festival. The festival was started strictly as a farmer's market in 1982 to showcase Ithaca's large selection of agricultural products. Over time, the addition of craft vendors, games, and other activities for children grew the event into what we know as it is today. Last year, in 2022, over 70,000 people attended the festival, making it the largest festival in Tompkins County. This year's festival has over 30 different musical performers on their 3 stages, with live music being performed each day from noon to 6 p.m. This year, the festival will have 150 unique vendors, with products ranging from apple food items to apple-scented candles. The Ithaca Harvest Festival doesn't just have vendors. Located on West State Street, you can find carnival rides, games, and even a mini Ferris wheel. The Apple Harvest is also a kickoff to New York Cider Week. Take part in the Cider Trail to taste ciders from all over Ithaca and surrounding areas. Make sure to stop by Ithaca Apple Harvest Festival this weekend to take advantage of all it has to offer.
At the festival each year, dozens of local performers take the stage of the Bernie Milton Pavilion to share their talents with visitors. We took the opportunity to sit down with several of the artists performing, and up first, we want to share the story of Lil Ann and Hot Cayenne, who performed at the pavilion just a short time ago.
My name is Ann Stork. My band is Lil Ann and Hot Cayenne. So we have an electric guitar, Peter Glanville, who's an IC grad, who actually did, I think, sound recording out of Park School. We've got Paul Crowley on electric bass. Paul did some of the recording program here for a while. Gordon Rowland on tenor sax. He was a professor here until just not too long ago. Got a master's of music here at the music school. And our newest member is Phil Shea, who is our drummer. For the most part, Zydeco, which is music out of Southwest Louisiana from the Creole culture, but then all Zydeco is like melting pot music. So we smush it with blues and jazz and rock and roll. How I got into this kind of music is there's a music festival here in town every summer, Grassroots, coming around forever. And there's a band that plays they've been playing every summer ever since. And they start Saturday nights at midnight, and they played till dawn, straight through. And I was listening to them, and a friend I'd known from years ago was there. I started dancing with her, and I said, "What is this?" And she went, "Zydeco." And a lightning bolt hit me, and I started listening to a lot and then playing.
Applefest is a great opportunity for alumni to return to campus every year. Let's speak with one right now. Let's check in with Lucas Kaufman. As we have mentioned, today's live stream is produced by students in the Park School of Communications, which happens to be celebrating 50 years this year. During the 2023-2024 academic year, the Roy H. Park School of Communications will be hosting a series of events to celebrate half a century of becoming a school. There will be celebrations in NYC and LA after a big kickoff celebration during Alumni Weekend in Ithaca, October 27th through 29th, 2023. To join the celebration and learn more, head to ithaca.edu.
So step by step, I'll make a mug. So this is about a pound of clay, and with a pound of clay I make my 16-ounce mugs. So I'll start with a little bit of water on my bat. This is a bat that sits on the wheel head. A little drop of water and smash it down to the center, or close to you can. Then I'll add water. And so this is my anchor arm, basically. So as it spins, this arm will not move, and this arm will create pressure. So this is called centering, and you want to get it as close to the center as you can, so that it doesn't wiggle or wobble, so that when you go to make your mug, there's not an awkward wonk in it. So after it's centered, you're going to open it, a little bit of water. So I take my middle finger and I put it straight to the middle of the clay, and I'm just going to push straight down and move it outward so that it creates a nice flat bottom. And I only open it as wide as I want the mug base to be. And from here, I'll pull up my walls. So I'm just applying pressure to the outside while holding firm on the inside with my middle finger. And for the opening process and the centering process, you're going really fast, the fastest that you'll go. And you'll start to slow down as you pull up the wall. And it's this constant process of adding water and taking water off. The more water you add, the weaker your walls will get as it essentially absorbs it. But you need to add water, otherwise the friction will rip your piece off. So there's a balance. Prevent trimming later, I'll use this little wooden tool and kind of get the excess schmutz off the bottom. I'll take this rib tool and kind of shape and get all this extra, I call it schmutz, all this extra slip off. That's the basic mug form I make.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Carly Kurger, and we are thrilled to have you for our Apple Fest live stream today. The live streams this weekend are produced by students enrolled in the live event production course at the Park School of Communications. They've spent several weeks preparing to bring the show to the Downtown Ithaca Commons for you all today. Let's take a look at what preparation went into today's event.
You're watching AppleFest Behind the Scenes.
Putting on a live broadcast takes a lot of prep work and a lot of setup. So the week before AppleFest, our class practiced by setting up our tents outside of the Park School of Communications at Ithaca College so we could see how much space we had and which set pieces we would need to build our set.
I can tell you this, not all the parts are needed.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it. These I feel like are
I don't know if these are needed.
point of anything. Jordan!
Got a lot of desks going
We're gonna put audio out of this, right, Jordan? Because
Oh, she's gonna cut audio?
Let's make a table.
Okay.
How many of us does it take? Just one, because I know how to do things.
You're not even doing anything.
Yeah, I am. I'm dancing.
Our tech leads brought a whiteboard outside, and with the help of Professor Chrissy Guest, they created a list of where and what equipment we needed to resource in order to put on our broadcast properly.
Every time
Our TA is hard at work. What y'all doing? Y'all on the Wegmans website? What you doing?
See the tax exempt form? Blur it out. Get that out.
Don't worry, guys. The team has got the problem.
We got the prop. Oh my god.
Our professor puts Grant King in a corner for making fun of another student and then goes over organization and how to put on our broadcast with a whole crowd around us at AppleFest.
Everything in. Because everything else, what do we need up here? We have cameras, we have microphones, we're gonna have a mixer, we're gonna have these set up, we're gonna have a monitor for the audience. This is the audience back here. Why do we shoot out towards the commons? Because we want to have the people walking in the back. We want to have people in the back, but we also need to be mindful we're gonna have people in the back.
Stay tuned for more BTS content.
On the Downtown Ithaca Commons today, we have a remote television studio and control room being used to produce today's broadcast. But a studio and control room on the move unfortunately does not build itself. So let's take a look at what the load-in process looked like for this project.
You're watching AppleFest Behind the Scenes.
let's look like we're like handed. I feel like this is really heavy. We're doing a lot of work. Yeah.
The Thursday before AppleFest, all loaded.
Oh my god, get that corner. Get that corner.
The duo, the dream team. So what do you guys do?
Supervise.
I'm here for support. For her.
We do relays are and letting me know. Like, we just make stuff up and then they do it.
Okay.
Double check that we've got everything.
I was kidding. That was a joke.
We gotta head over to PPEX and pick up the rest of our gear.
That's Chrissy, guys. That's Chrissy, guys. This is Chrissy. That's Chrissy as well. Oh. Perfect. Thank you for that.
Damn.
We're loading up right now. We're getting ready for Apple Festival is this weekend. So we're putting all our stuff in the vans. This van and Chrissy's van. It's a joy.
Where am I putting this?
Your mom's
These are C-stands.
Be smart.
Oh, maxi stands.
You're good. You're good. Just
This way you like, yeah. That feels unsafe.
Just keep shoving it.
Don't tell me what to do, Brian.
We have to inventory all of our equipment before we put it into the van to make sure that we have everything that we need in order to put on our broadcast. So we load up the tables and the sandbags, and then we're pretty much ready to go. And then we're carrying stuff into the studio downtown. It was a real long walk, and we had a bit of fun with it.
I brought my Thursday's outfit.
Stay tuned for more BTS content.
Hi, I'm Lucas Kaufman. I'm your host for this portion of the live stream. We're here on the Ithaca Commons Apple Fest, surrounded by the smell of apples and also lots of wasps and Ithaca College alumni. We're joined here by Ellen, who has graciously decided to join us for this interview. Ellen, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's great. Now, you are an Ithaca College alumni. When did you graduate?
I graduated this past May 2023, so it's only been a couple of months.
Only been a couple months. Very fresh alumni. Now, how many Apple Fests have you been to?
This is my 4th Apple Fest.
Okay, 4 Apple Fest. And what's your favorite place to go on the Commons here at Apple Fest?
Well, the first stop is always donuts. Either one, they're hot, they're fresh, get your donuts, and then the tent with all of the bins of apples. You can really just smell it and take it all in.
You can really take it all in. Now, have you ever waited in the gigantic donut line?
Yes. There's always a line. You just have to face the inevitability and just be ready for it.
And is it worth it?
It's always worth it.
Now, Apple Fest, how would you rate it out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. All right, now let's talk a little bit about you. You're an Ithaca College alumni. What'd you do? What are your Ithaca College highlights?
Ithaca College highlights would have to include deciding to major inside the park school. I think that was a big, great choice by me. And also joining the Ultimate Frisbee team.
Ultimate Frisbee team. So you're a Frisbee champion?
I think champion might be stretching it, but we did have a good season last year. We almost made it to nationals, which was pretty exciting. And I also convinced everyone to buy these sweatshirts, so I consider that a personal victory.
And is that a Frisbee sweatshirt?
This is a Frisbee sweatshirt. I got my classmate to design it, and then we convinced as many people as possible to buy it.
It's a very cool sweatshirt. Now, have you traveled far to come to this Apple Fest this year?
I couldn't say. I feel like it was far. It was only 2.5 hours, but I've been driving to a lot of places. I just drove like 7 hours to go to Boston last week, so this was like no problem. I was like 2.5 hours to eat apples and see my friends. Check.
Good stuff. Well, Ellen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Folks, this is Apple Fest. We got Ithaca College alumni. Check out this video now.
After moving to Ithaca, Edward Acevedo opened Tacos CDMX in the parking lot of Finger Lakes Reuse Center. It quickly became one of the most popular food spots in the city.
We just want them to come over here and enjoy authentic Mexican hospitality and a decent taco.
The business model focuses on advertising by word of mouth and talk about authentic street tacos traveled fast.
Well, it was actually super famous in my department because we have one professor who is from Mexico, and she keeps recommending the taco truck, and so we had to come try it.
In May, Acevedo brought his authentic street tacos into a permanent location in the Press Bay Alley. The service and authentic street tacos are still the same. Now they just have running water and electricity to keep serving their customers.
And the welcome that we received was amazing. You know, people here in Ithaca are wonderful. They have good taste, and I'm glad that they like it. You know, I wanted to create a place so where people will meet, a melting pot, and it happened.
Stop by Taco CDMX while at Apple Fest, just outside the Downtown Ithaca Commons. In Ithaca, I'm Grant Johnson reporting.
As I've previously mentioned, today's live stream is produced by students in the Park School of Communications, which happens to be celebrating 50 years this year. Now, to the left of me, I am watching what's going on, what the students are putting on. There's some students hosting at the left tent, and on the right tent, it appears that a student is about to put on a musical performance. She has an instrument. It looks like a good small guitar. She's going to put on a performance. It's just incredible that these students put together all of this on their own time as part of the class. It takes hours, so much work and dedication for them all to get together and put this on, but it's also an incredible experience for them to have this moment in the Commons, putting it all together. Now, the next, I'm going to show you how they set it all up. Take a look.
You're watching Applefest behind the scenes.
I am excited about the shows that are going to be put on because I will tell you right now, it is worth seeing. If you come down to Applefest, one, you're going to have an experience like none other, being live participants in a broadcast that will be historic, I'm pretty sure. But I am excited about the apple tasting, the cider tasting, the cider apple pairing tasting. I'm excited about the bands and the performances. I'm excited about the game shows. I mean, this class has done everything. It's going to be amazing.
Moonies!
Yeah, keep going.
Oh. In class, the day before our first stream, it's all about testing. We're testing our cameras, we're testing our cables, we're testing how far our cameras will go without losing signal. We're testing everything so that we can make sure that we know our problem points so that when things do go wrong, we can fix them as quickly as possible.
Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water. Silly.
Chrissy loves our antics, but she also has to crawl in some pretty small spaces to find power.
Chrissy, say hi to the video.
Hello, video.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
Communication is the name of the game. We've got to delegate to make sure that everything gets done as quickly and as safely as possible.
It's at the back of the...
Okay, can you like walk me through how that works? Because I'm honestly still very confused.
Absolutely.
Well, we set up our tents. We are tent number 43 and 44 on the lot. We're gonna decorate it and make it look super apple festy and fall, and it'll be beautiful and cute and gorgeous.
Okay. You guys are doing great. This is starting to look very, very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Stay tuned for more BTS content.
Local businesses have set up shop in the Commons for the Apple Harvest Festival market. John Baker caught up with one of them to learn about her products.
Right, first, so can you tell me your name and just a little bit about your business and what you guys are selling here today?
Absolutely. So my name is Beverly Wallenstein. I am selling things that I make, not necessarily in one category. So I've got resin stuff, and I've got miniatures, and I've got polymer clay things. And really how I got into it was just messing around and seeing what I enjoyed doing and finding kind of other people doing things online that I really enjoyed and wanted to try myself. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of trying a lot of things and seeing what works, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
A lot of these products look really nice. Can you tell me about the process of what goes into creating these products?
Sure. So I've got a couple different mediums here. So the resin starts as a two-part resin and hardener, and then I have about 45 minutes once I've mixed those together to add colors and to mix it and to kind of make whatever I want to happen. That being said, it's completely not very easy to control. Really the most complicated thing is the resin, and it's the one that I started with first, and it's the one that took me the longest to learn. Polymer clay I just started doing this year. It's been a lot of fun to work with.
What would you say you love the most about doing the work that you do?
Just being creative, I think. Being able to feel like I've made something, I think, is really important to me. To kind of see the results at the end of the day. These are the new designs that I want to, put forward. And then also, like, coming to fairs like this is awesome because I get to hang out with other artists and creators and makers and buy some of their stuff if we're doing okay. And there's always food and awesome people here. So honestly, the creativity, but then also the people that I get to meet.
So where can we find you at Applefest?
Like right on Kiva Street. I'll be right by Jewett Mall. Let's put it that way.
All right, I'm out here with Beverly. Thank you so much, and back to you guys up in the studio.
Welcome back, folks. I'm Lucas Kaufman here on the Ithaca Commons at Apple Fest. We've got a professional representative from South Hill Cider here today. Welcome to the show. Tell us your name and what you do here at South Hill Cider.
Hi, I'm Chris Cortese. I'm one of the guided tasters, or pommeliers, as we call it in the business, for South Hill. Despite being a pretty recent addition to the team, I've worked in and out of orchards in the Hudson Valley. I've worked in dining rooms in New York City, out in Ireland for a brandy maker there. So it's my little niche in the world, is all these emerging, beautiful, fine ciders, especially in the Finger Lakes and the Hudson Valley.
Very cool. And what's the deal with cider? How is it made? What makes it different from a different kind of alcohol?
So cider, cider as it actually exists is kind of re-emerging right now. Real cider is made out of cider-specific crab apples, wild apples, and heirloom apples. In the same way that you wouldn't snack on a Chardonnay grape and you wouldn't make wine out of a Welch's grape, that relationship kind of holds with fine cider. From there, you take the apples, you mill them, press them, and then let them ferment in either their own naturally occurring yeasts, or you infuse like a champagne yeast to kind of guide that fermentation. To be honest with you, this area, Finger Lakes and the Hudson Valley, is kind of the epicenter of this big cider renaissance that's taking place all over the world. You can find cider in Spain, in France, in New Zealand, in Japan, and wherever, but my personal opinion, and maybe I'm a little biased, is that this is kind of like the Napa Valley of the whole shebang.
Would you call it the cider capital of the world?
I don't know, because Herefordshire in England goes way back and they have a very deep history, and I wouldn't want to step on anyone's toes there, but I'm comfortable saying that this is my personal bet for the most dynamic portfolio of cider currently emerging in the global marketplace.
Very cool. And now, so Apple Fest has a lot of apples going on. Have you guys been doing like a bunch of extra cider prep or what?
So we make cider year round. Apples that are grown for the purposes of making cider, there's a big variety in when they bloom and when you're ready to harvest them and whatnot. So this is a wonderful marketing opportunity for us. You know, you think of apples and you think of dessert apples generally. You think of Macintosh, you think of Macoun, you think of, you know, the things you would go and just snack on or bake a pie out of. But what we represent is a whole different field, a related field of, again, those very cider-specific, very tannic, very acidic crab apples that most people would just pass by on the street and not think that they had any use at all. So it's really nice that you get to be in an environment here where the whole fruit of apple is represented, and we get to kind of do that through our fermented beverages as much as, you know, the beautiful farmers get to do with their dessert apples as well.
Yeah, very cool, very dynamic variety of apples here, like you're saying. How many apples, just ballpark, do you guys think you harvest each year to produce your cider?
Whoa. I mean, tens of thousands. We manage 4 orchards. We do have a location about 10 minutes south of here in Dryden. But from there, you know, we actually took a hit this year. There was a frost that came and kind of destroyed a lot of the harvest for not just us, but a number of different fruit growers here. So this year was a little bit less. But in general, yeah, hundreds of thousands of apples producing tens of thousands of gallons of cider.
That's great. Well, that's a lot of apples going on. What do you look for in a good cider? You know, when you got wine, you know, you're looking for the legs, the nose. What are the signs of a really top shelf cider?
So, and maybe this is personal opinion, but I really love a dry cider that's able to extract a lot of flavor from the apple itself. You know, a lot of amazing makers, they will co-ferment with blackberry, raspberry. Maybe it's my personal bias, but the reason I work for South Hill is they do an incredible job of just extracting flavor from the apple itself. Yeah, so that's kind of, again, my personal take, but that's the thing about cider, is that there's an incredible variety to it. Some people really love the sweet ciders, some people really love the dry stuff, some people want the sharp, some people want the bitter, and that's what's exciting about the beverage itself, is that there's a cider out there for everybody. Maybe not every cider will be for everybody, but there is a cider for every person, I believe.
That's great. And what are like the top ciders you got? What's like your most sold cider? What's the most popular South Hill cider?
Probably our Old Time. It was the first cider that we started selling commercially back in 2012. It's kind of our take on what was existing before Prohibition in America. It's an off-dry cider with just a little bit of sugar that really grounds its farmhouse flavors. You know, it's funky, it's delicious, but what's great about it is that it's very dynamic. You can have it by itself and just kick back with a couple of them, but it pairs extremely well with food as well. Just that little bit of sugar kind of puts it over the edge there.
Well, great stuff. I think we've learned a lot about cider here today. Chris, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about cider.
Nice to meet you. Absolutely, yeah, pleasure. Come check out South Hill Cider on 550 Sandbank Road. We have we do guided tastings. We have music 3 nights a week. It's a great time, and yeah, drink cider.
Drink cider, folks. Thanks for checking us out. Let's see what's next.
Motherboard, and so we're a farm girl folk punk band, mainly based in Ithaca and Interlake, and half the band lives in Interlake and half the band lives in Ithaca. So then we're very proud because Interlake is very small. But she's actually from T-Burg, so yeah. So we're in the area. Well, it's kind of like folk, it's kind of punk, it's kind of like all sorts of things, like alternative, like music. I'm really heavily influenced by like Riot Girl and all the punk scenes from like, 70s and 80s and things like that. So, but we bring in a lot of folk influence, and like she's got country influence, and we've got like, alternative and...
I think that we're a sum of our parts in some ways. Like everybody brings their influences, and we're old enough that our influences are popular again. So it's kind of a good time to be in a band. To be honest.
If you can choose.
I'm totally joking, but no, it's like I think generally for me, it's like I make music because I have to, but not necessarily because it's like I want to be like getting something, other than like fulfilling out of it. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I think it's fun. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree though. I think that like it's not enough to be a consumer of music for me, though. There's a lot of amazing musicians out there, but making music is equally important. So you have to.
Yeah, there is a drive, like you have to, but I also feel like it's for freedom. So it's like a way to express yourself really freely that you just don't have a normal way to do that, a normalized way to do that in everyday life, but on stage, everything's okay.
I like that. For me, it's I always say it's like community, hands down. Like my passion is that my hobbies are like live music, so I go to these shows all the time, and I love to support my friends and see what they're doing. I get authentically excited about it, and to be able to come and do spaces like this, play, like fundraisers at people's houses, like that's what I'm really into.
These are not easy questions because it's like, of the 10,000 influences I can think of, who's the one or who are they? I just think there's a lot of really great creative music being made right now. And, I think what's inspiring is seeing a lot of artists who are crossing over and working with other artists and seeing other artists in ways that we didn't see until more recently. So I think of like bands like The National and Aaron Dessner producing something like Taylor Swift, but also producing some bands like Big Red Machine, smaller bands, and like this collaborative thing that we're seeing now. I think for a long time it was like artists were very much more siloed and themselves. So it's rich with a lot of collab going on right now.
I kind of live under a rock, so I don't know like a lot of new stuff, but I'm super inspired by like Kathleen Hanna, who's from Bikini Kill and is now like part of the Julie Ruin Project in Tigre, and she was kind of like the mother of Riot Girl, and just really learning like that you have a voice and you can use it, and the old punk gods of like Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys, and just like all these people who were just like just do it,
I'm just going to be really honest right now. Like, I just joined this band, and I'm super inspired by all of you. Like, I really am inspired by my band.
I mean, like, that's not by the same answer. What am I inspired by? My community. Like, anything you ask me about, it's like, I just, like, I love I love hearing what this person's doing on stage, and I love knowing the people that are also part of the fabric of, like, where I live. It's like, not only to see them as amazing musicians and how they express themselves, but, like, the other parts of their life that goes with it. So, and that's what inspires me to keep showing up.
Hi there, folks. I'm Lucas Coffin back here on the Ithaca Commons at Apple Fest. Today, It's smelling good out here. And if there's something I love more than apples, it's maple syrup. So we're joined here at the maple syrup booth. You want to tell us your name, the name of your business, and how long you've been making maple syrup for?
Yeah, so my name's Rob Parcell. The name of our business is Maple River Syrup Company. We're from Canton, New York, which is up in St. Lawrence County at the base of the Adirondacks. We've been doing this for about 15 years now. It started out 15 years ago as kind of a hobby with some of our kids, and since we have 80 acres of land, we tap between 3,000 and 5,000 trees. So it became a hobby to a little bit more of a small business that sort of pays for our hobby. So we've been doing it for quite a while now, yeah.
Very nice. And I see you've got lots of different bottles of syrup behind us. How many different syrups do you have here today?
Well, we brought our best selling syrup, which is our dark amber maple syrup. The dark amber, there's literally in grade A, there's 3 types of syrup. There's light, there's medium, and dark. Dark has the strongest maple flavor. So all our maple syrup containers, they all contain the dark amber syrup. It's just we just bottle it in different containers because some people like it in plastic, some like it in glass, some might like it in tin. So we just try to bring a variety of different types of bottling containers with us so that people can choose what they like.
Great. And what goes into making maple syrup? How does it work?
Making maple syrup, for anybody that knows about it, is very difficult. It's a very strenuous and very physical process. Our process, we use vacuum lines. So we go out in the woods and we actually string lines around our property. And then we use a vacuum system to extract the sap from the maple tree. Some people worry that it might hurt the tree, but it actually doesn't. In the fall, what happens is the trees, they take all the sap and they store it in the roots in the wintertime. And then in the springtime, when the top of the trees start to call for the sap, the roots actually thaw out and the sap goes up the tree. We just catch a little bit of it when it's going up the tree, and it doesn't hurt the tree at all. Once we collect it, we bring it back to our sugar house, and then we boil it on a wood fire evaporator. And when it looks like water coming out of the tree, and once the process is done, then it turns into what you see in our containers, which is a dark maple syrup. So it's a very simple process, and there's no additives, there's no preservatives. It's strictly the food from the tree boiled down in this process and turns it into maple syrup.
Wow, very cool. And I think you might have already answered this question talking about the process. When do you harvest your syrup?
Sure. So in the fall, what we do is all our maintenance. We're getting ready for our season. And then probably late January, early February, we'll actually start tapping the trees. It takes a week or two to tap our trees. And then really it's all dependent on Mother Nature. So we really look at the weather and we wait for it to start thawing during the days and freezing at night. And that's the best time. And that's usually between about mid-February to late March, maybe the first week of April. So the season can go anywhere from about 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 7 if we're very lucky. But usually about 6 weeks is an average season.
And how many like gallons of syrup do you think you make every year?
Well, it always varies. It always varies on the number of taps you have. A good year we might do 12 to 1,500 gallons of syrup based on our property. So yeah.
And is Applefest a big day of the year for you guys?
Yeah, it's a huge day of the year for us. So we've been coming here, I think this is our 9th year now, and we love coming down here. It's a great crowd. People are always interested in buying products that are especially products like maple syrup. So it helps us generate revenue to then put back into the bank so we can buy the supplies and the things we need to try to start our season off. So, and we love coming down here and talking to people, and there's a lot of great food. It's a really good fun time.
And when you're not here at Applefest, where can the people find your product?
Well, we have an online business. It's mapleriversyrup.com, and we will ship anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world if I can figure it out. So, yeah.
Well, great stuff. Thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having us. Appreciate it.
Folks, that's Maple River. Check it out and check out what we got going on next here at Applefest.
So this is about a pound of clay. And with a pound of clay, I make my 16-ounce mugs. So I'll start with a little bit of water on my bat. This is a bat that sits on the wheel head. A little drop of water and smash it down to the center, or close as you can. Then I'll add water. And so this is my anchor arm, basically. So as it spins, this arm will not move, and this arm will create pressure. So this is called centering. And you want to get it as close to the center as you can, so that it doesn't wiggle or wobble. So
so that when you go to make your mug, there's not an awkward wonk in it. So after it's centered, you're gonna open it. I'm open to water. So I take my middle finger and I put it straight to the middle of the clay, and I'm just gonna push straight down and move it outward so that it creates a nice flat bottom. And I only open it as wide as I want the mug base to be. And from here, I'll pull up my walls. So I'm just applying pressure to the outside while holding firm on the inside with my middle finger. And for the opening process and the centering process, you're going really fast, the fastest that you'll go. And you'll start to slow down as you pull up the wall. And it's this constant process of adding water and taking water off. So the more water you add, the weaker your walls will get as it essentially absorbs it. But you need to add water, otherwise the friction will rip your piece off. So there's a balance. To prevent trimming later, I'll use this little wooden tool and kind of get the excess schmutz off the bottom. I'll take this rib tool and kind of shape and get all this extra, I call it schmutz, all this extra slip off. That's the basic mug form I make.
There are so many different people who are producing the main live stream, but the person in charge of it all is the live stream. The executive producer of the stream is senior TVDM student Kate Teslowski. Kate plays a crucial role in the production. They're currently doing a cooking segment right now. She's in charge of all aspects of this. This is a live look inside of the control room of the live stream. You guys can see what's happening. Just the graphics operator, the director, and all sorts of people are making this happen. Now we're going to take a look at some of the history behind the Apple Festival.
The Ithaca Apple Fest is celebrating its 41st year this year. Over the span of 41 years, many vendors, performers, and orchards have been featured. Here are some facts you may not know about the Ithaca Apple Harvest Festival. The festival was started strictly as a farmer's market in 1982 to showcase Ithaca's large selection of agricultural products. Over time, the addition of craft vendors, games, and other activities for children grew the event into what we know as it is today. Last year, in 2022, over 70,000 people attended the festival, making it the largest festival in Tompkins County. This year's festival has over 30 different musical performers on their 3 stages, with live music being performed each day from noon to 6 p.m. This year, the festival will have 150 unique vendors with products ranging from apple food items to apple-scented candles. The Ithaca Harvest Festival doesn't just have vendors. Located on West State Street, you can find carnival rides, games, and even a mini Ferris wheel. The Apple Harvest is also a kickoff to New York Cider Week. Take part in the Cider Trail to taste ciders from all over Ithaca and surrounding areas. Make sure to stop by Ithaca Apple Harvest Festival this weekend to take advantage of all it has to offer.
All right, so right now I'm joined with a member of the live event class. This is David Schaefer, and he's the technical lead. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're on our second broadcast right now, so I'm taking a little break from that. It's been going pretty good, so I'm pretty happy about the day. We were a little stressed out before, but I'm so excited about how it's going. It's been a good Apple Fest for sure.
So what is your job of a technical lead?
So I'm in charge of all of the equipment and the technical aspects of the show. So earlier today, we spent all of our time setting stuff up, getting everything ready to go live today. And I'm in charge of managing the equipment, so we have to keep really good track of everything that we're using. So I have been managing all that, planning that out, and learning all the equipment so I can kind of move around and help people where I can.
So how much time does it take to prepare for an event like this?
It takes quite a bit of time. We would have preferred more than a week, but we've been spending a week preparing. And honestly, it's turned out really well because this is what we all really enjoy doing. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of payoff for sure.
That's amazing. So what other live streams have you done this year? Have you done any others?
Yeah, we have. So 2 weeks ago, we live streamed a volleyball tournament for IC Women's Volleyball. And that was our first project. And last weekend, we got to go out and multicam film at Porch Fest. So we've been going for the past month. And this is kind of our big project for the first part of the semester.
So what is something like Apple Fest here in a big event like this? How does it compare to the volleyball tournament live stream?
This is a lot different because we are a lot more immersed in the crowd at volleyball. Excuse me, we were up above, kind of filming down on everything, with a few live segments with the crowd. But here, it's kind of all interactive with everyone, and it's a different vibe. And I enjoy this a lot. So for sure, I love it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, David. Once all the equipment is loaded into the spaces, it's then time to get all set up. Thousands of feet of cords are ran, and every single signal has to be tested to ensure a smooth stream for the viewers. Now let's see a little bit of what the setup for the live stream was made of.
You're watching AppleFest Behind the Scenes.
I am excited about the shows that are going to be put on because I will tell you right now, it is worth seeing. If you come down to AppleFest, one, you're going to have an experience like none other, being live participants in a broadcast that will be historic, I'm pretty sure. But I am excited about the apple tasting, the cider tasting, the cider apple pairing tasting. I'm excited about the bands and the performances. I'm excited about the game shows. I mean, this class has done everything. It's going to be amazing.
Moonies!
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Oh.
In class, the day before our first stream, it's all about testing. We're testing our cameras, we're testing our cables, we're testing how far our cameras will go without losing signal. We're testing everything so that we can make sure that we know our problem points so that when things do go wrong, we can fix them as quickly as possible.
Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water. Silly.
Chrissy loves our antics, but she also has to crawl in some pretty small spaces to find power.
Chrissy, say hi to the video.
Hello, video.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
Communication is the name of the game. We've got to delegate to make sure that everything gets done as quickly and as safely as possible.
Camera 2, camera 3, Teradek.
It's at the back of the...
Okay, can you walk me through how that works? Because I'm honestly still very confused.
Absolutely.
Well, we set up our tents. We are tent number 43 and 44 on the lot. We're gonna decorate it and make it look super apple festy and fall, and it'll be beautiful and cute and gorgeous.
Okay. You guys are doing great. This is starting to look very, very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Stay tuned for more BTS content.
Lucas is now with the professor of the live events class, Chrissy Guest. Let's go take a look. Lucas?
Welcome back to Apple Fest on the Commons. I'm surrounded by the smell of apples and the buzzing of wasps, but we're here to talk today, right now, about what's been going into this broadcast and the other live streams that have been occurring today at Apple Fest. Joined here today by Chrissy Guest, who's been really making the whole thing happen. Chrissy, welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's so great to be here on the live stream. So happy to be here. Yeah.
So what's going on here today? Who's putting on this broadcast, and what kind of work has been going into it?
Sure. Well, it's really exciting. This is the live event production course, part of the television and digital media production program at Ithaca College at the Roy H. Park School of Communications. Myself and my co-faculty, the other half of the power that is this production, Griffin, Schultz, and then this is all live event students. And what's really incredible is that it's not just the seniors and the juniors that are putting this on. They have volunteers from all different levels in all different parts of the different productions. It's really exciting.
And you guys are out here today, but I hear you've been out here for a little bit longer than today. How much time have you spent on the Commons in the past couple days getting ready for this broadcast?
Oh yeah, so Thursday night we moved stuff down, had to construct our control rooms, which is downstairs in our downtown studio space. That took most of the evening, several hours. And then Friday is typically their class. This is a class that meets at 8 a.m. If you can imagine seniors and juniors getting up for an 8 a.m. class, I know, for 4 hours. And getting together, got down here, started setting things up. We didn't leave till late last night. And then they were ready to go this morning. It was amazing. 8 a.m. again, and they've been doing broadcasts all day. It's fantastic.
And is this the final day of the broadcast?
No, we have another broadcast tomorrow, Sunday, at 11 a.m. on the YouTube as well.
Great, and where are all the places that people can see this project going on? Where is this streaming?
Yes, it's going to be streaming on the Park School YouTube page. All of the broadcasts will be there, but most importantly, this broadcast, the one that you are starring on, is going to be on the TVDM Instagram social page as well later on once we're done with our live broadcast on YouTube.
Very cool, very cool. And how many of these broadcasts do you think you've done, just ballpark?
Oh, it's like asking a lady her age. I don't know if I want to answer that, but so many, so many.
And what would you say to students who are looking to do live event production?
Oh, yes. We have tons and tons of alums that go into live production, both sports and both entertainment. A lot of people go out into the industry and work for network. We're just really excited with the amount of success that our alums have had.
Yeah, and what are some notable places that alums have, after taking this class, moved on to work at?
Sure. ABC, Good Morning America, MLB. We have a lot of people at the MLB network. You name it. I mean, you can't go anywhere without finding a bomber, I think.
Well, folks, this has been Chrissy Guest with our broadcast today. Let's see what we got going on next.
All right, thank you all so much for tuning in to the behind the scenes of the live stream. We would like to thank Professor Chrissy Getz and Professor Griffin Schultz, as well as our sponsors Wings Over Ithaca and the Office of the President. And to you guys, the viewers, for watching, thank you. We have a live stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. Don't miss it, right here on the Park YouTube page.
Thank you.